Secret Capital Slam of 2022 event by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to Secret Capital Slam, said announcer number 2. And we're coming off of a great show of Blood Rumble. Because tonight, the US Continental Champion, Rhino, will defend his title against one of the biggest challengers he's ever had, said announcer number 1. That's right. Rhino will take on Quake. This massive person is not someone to take lightly, said announcer number 2. That's right, but at the end of the day, one of these two wrestlers will be the champion, said announcer number 1. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is an Extreme Rules match for the US Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers. First, Quake. And his opponent, he is the US Continental Champion, Rhino, said announcer number 3. Rhino raises the title, then hands it to referee number 1. Referee number 1 raises the title, walks towards the ropes, then hands it to number 1. Beldings. Both Quake and Rhino get face to face. I'm taking that title from you, said Quake. Yeah. You need to beat me first, said Rhino, punching Quake. Quake looks at Rhino, then punches him. This ain't a good way to start a match, said announcer number 2. Yeah, Rhino's a hothead. And Quake just doesn't care, said announcer number 1. Both Quake and Rhino start punching each other. Rhino runs, bounces off ropes, then tries clotheslining Quake. Quake staggering. Rhino runs, bounces off the ropes, then tries clotheslining Quake again. Quake staggers again. Rhino runs, then bounces off the ropes a third time. Quake clotheslines Rhino. Rhino groans. Quake grabs Rhino, then bounces his head off the top turnbuckle. Rhino groaning. Quake does a corner elbow onto Rhino. Rhino groans. Quake whips Rhino into the opposite corner, then runs at him. Rhino moves. Quake goes face first into the corner, groans, then walks out of it. Rhino bounces off the ropes, then shoulder blocks Quake. Quake staggers backwards. Rhino stands up, runs, bounces off the ropes, then shoulder blocks Quake again. Quake goes through the middle ropes, then lands onto the floor. Rhino rolls outside of the ring. Remember, this is an Extreme Rules match, so anything is legal, said announcer number 1. Rhino grabs Quake, then bounces his head off the steel stairs. Quake groans, then walks away. Rhino pulls the top pair of the steel stairs off, lifts it, then runs at Quake. The top pair of the steel stairs hit Quake. Quake falls onto the floor. Rhino drops the top pair of the steel stairs. Quake slowly moving. Rhino grabs Quake's head, then goes to bounce it off the barricade. Quake holds onto the barricade, elbows Rhino's stomach, then bounces his head off of it. Rhino falls onto the floor. Quake shaking his head, then approaches Rhino. Rhino groaning. Quake grabs Rhino, then throws him into the ring. Rhino stops rolling. Quake lifts the ring skirt, then looks underneath it. Looks like Quake's looking for a weapon, said announcer number 2. He is a weapon all by himself, said announcer number 1. Quake pulls out a table. Oh God, he's got a table, said announcer number 2. Quake slides the table into the ring, then pulls himself onto the ledge of it. Rhino bounces off the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then spears Quake. Quake falls off the ledge of the ring, then lands onto the floor. Rhino is leaning against the ropes, then stands up. Nice work by Rhino. Knowing his ring awareness, said announcer number 1. Rhino grabs the table, then sets it up in the middle of the ring. Quake is slowly moving. Rhino goes through the middle ropes, looks underneath the ring, then pulls out a kendo stick. Here we go, said announcer number 2. Rhino approaches Quake, then goes to swing the kendo stick. Quake grabs the kendo stick, then kicks Rhino's stomach. Rhino groans. Quake raises the kendo stick, then swings. Rit. The kendo stick hits Rhino's back. Rhino groans. Quake continuously swings the kendo stick. Rhino continuously groaning. Quake smiling, then raises his arms. The crowd is booing. Oh, shut up, said Quake. Rhino is standing next to the ring post. Quake raises the kendo stick, runs at Rhino, then swings it at him. Rhino ducks. The kendo stick hits the ring post, then breaks in half. Man. Rhino moved out of the way just in time, said announcer number 1. That would have definitely been bad if. Rhino didn't move, said announcer number 2. Quake walks towards Rhino. Rhino punches Quake's stomach. Quake groans, then hits Rhino's back. Rhino groans. Quake grabs Rhino, then throws him into the barricade. Rhino groaning. Quake walks, then looks underneath the ring again. I wonder what he's looking for now, asked announcer number 1. Quake pulls out a ladder. Well, we got our answer, said announcer number 2. Quake lifts the ladder. Rhino stands up, then turns around. Quake runs at Rhino. The ladder goes into Rhino's face. Quake lifts the ladder over his head, then smiles. The crowd continues booing. Quake turns around, then drops the ladder onto Rhino. Rhino groans. I've never seen Rhino in this type of predicament, said announcer number 1. Yeah, usually he's the one doing this to his opponents. Now the tables have turned, said announcer number 2. Quake walks, then grabs the top pair of the steel stairs. Rhino appears all bloody, then slowly stands up. Rhino's bend busted open, said announcer number 1. Rhino turns around. Quake throws the top pair of the steel stairs at Rhino. Rhino quickly moves. The top pair of the steel stairs goes into the barricade. Rhino stands up. Quake approaches Rhino. Rhino runs, then rams Quake into the barricade. Quake groans, walks, then leans against the ring. Rhino runs, then pushes Quake into the ring post. Quake falls onto the floor, then groans. Rhino is kneeling against the barricade, stands up, then looks underneath the ring. What's Rhino looking for now? Asked announcer number 2. Whatever it is, it'll probably help him, said announcer number 1. Rhino pulls out a steel chair, then raises it. The crowd is cheering. Quake slowly stands up, then turns around. Rhino swings the steel chair. The steel chair hits Quake's head. Quake falls onto the floor. Rhino drops the steel chair, then leans against the barricade. I think Rhino's just trying to survive now, said announcer number 2. You need to do whatever, especially against a man like Quake, said announcer number 1. Rhino grabs the ladder, slides it into the ring, rolls inside it, stands, then sets the ladder next to the table. What is going through Rhino's mind? Asked announcer number 2. I don't want to know, said announcer number 1. Rhino rolls outside of the ring, then approaches Quake. Quake turns around, then swings the steel chair. The steel chair hits Rhino's head. Rhino falls onto the floor. Quake is leaning against the barricade, then appears all bloody. Rhino busted Quake open. Now, said announcer number 2. Yeah, but Quake could have busted Rhino open more, especially after that chair shot, said announcer number 1. I didn't think of that, said announcer number 2. Quake drops the steel chair, walks towards the ring, lifts the ring skirt, then pulls out a chain. Oh my God. If he uses that, this match will definitely be over, said announcer number 1. Quake wraps the chain around his fist, then walks towards Rhino. Rhino is still laying on the floor. Quake approaches, grabs Rhino's head, then pulls him onto his knees. I told you, I'm gonna take your title. But you said, and quat, I'd have to go through you first, and quat. This is where it ends, Rhino, said Quake, raising his fist with the chain wrapped around it. Rhino low blows Quake. Quake groans. Let's go off the chain, then falls to his knees. Rhino slowly stands up, runs, then pushes Quake into the ring post. Quake falls onto the floor. Rhino slowly walks, grabs Quake, then throws him into the ring. Quake stops rolling. Rhino goes to slide into the ring, then stops. What's he looking at? Asked announcer number 2. I don't know. Rhino slowly walks, stops, bends over, then picks up the chain. That's what he was looking at, said announcer number 1. Rhino picks up the steel chair, slides it into the ring, then rolls inside it. Quake slowly moves, then gets up onto his knees. Rhino swings the steel chair. The steel chair hits Quake's head. Quake falls onto the mat. Rhino continuously swings the steel chair. The steel chair is continuously hitting Quake's back. Quake continuously groaning. Rhino throws the steel chair. The steel chair goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Rhino bends over, grabs the chain, then wraps it around his fist. This is what Quake was gonna do to Rhino, said announcer number 2. Quake is slowly moving, then gets back onto his knees. Rhino grabs Quake's head. I told you what you had to do, and you didn't do it. I'm the champion, said Rhino, raising his fist with the chain. Quake grabs Rhino by his throat, then stands up. You think you've won? You really think that? Asked Quake. Rhino kicks Quake in his testicle. Quake groans. Rhino punches Quake with the chain. Quake is staggering. Rhino punches Quake with the chain again. Quake continues staggering. Rhino steps backwards, then punches Quake with the chain a third time. Quake falls onto the table. Rhino drops the chain, looks up at the ladder, then starts climbing up it. Oh my God. Rhino, don't do this. Rhino, whatever you do, don't jump off that ladder. That's a far drop, said announcer number 2. I don't think Rhino cares anymore, said announcer number 1. Rhino gets to the top of the ladder, looks down at Quake laying on the table, jumps off, then does a leg drop onto him. Both Quake and Rhino go through the table. Oh my God, said announcer number 2. Rhino appears laying on top of Quake's. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell, said referee number 1. Bell dings. Here's your winner and still the US Continental Champion, Rhino, said announcer number 3. Referee number 1 is kneeling next to Rhino. Rhino is slowly moving. Slowly stands up, then raises the title. The crowd is cheering. What a match. At first, Quake had the advantage, and I really thought that Rhino was gonna lose his title, said announcer number 2. You're not alone. I think we all thought Rhino was gonna lose his title. But somehow, Rhino still came out as the champion, said announcer number 1. I'm happy for him, said announcer number 2. Well folks, Rhino retained his title here tonight. We want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye, said announcer number 2, waving. Rhino is slowly walking up the ramp. Stops on the stage, turns around, then raises the title again. The crowd continues cheering. The end.